I've decided to wrap my bonsai with 6mm wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little hole in the bottom here, so it's easier for me to feed my wire through. I've made a small hole there. I've made the end of that sharp. So I'm just going to poke that through there. And where I'm going to try and get it close to the trunk. When it comes out, with this bit underneath here, I'm just going to give it a fold. That should be enough, because it's going to go around the trunk anyway. I like to wrap left-handed or clockwise, so I'm going to go around this way. So when wrapping, I put like a forward wave there, and I put a handle up here, right? So I can manipulate my handle. Although it disappears each wrap, this comes in handy when you're going between foliage. I'll show you what I mean. So you want to go between those two bits of foliage, two bits of branch here, 1, 2. So I'm going to put a wrap like that and push it through like that. So I'm going to wrap him up like this, get rid of any extra bits of foliage that are in the way that I know I don't want. Sometimes it's advised to leave foliage on until you've done your wrapping, and when you start doing the shape that you want, that's when you take your foliage off. Because I've run into traps of taking foliage off and finding out that I needed it. Again, I'm going to put my forward roll in so I can get it in between the foliage. I can do it without, but what I have to do is I have to feed everything out the way. So that little forward roll that I do, that little forward wave, that really helps with direction. Sometimes if it's hard to grab, you get your pliers, you just hold the wire. It makes it a little bit easier for you to manipulate the wire around the bonsai to get that desired shape. I might chop it off at about there. I've got this stump here I don't want. Eventually you'll get a pair of these so you can get the cut nice and close to the cambium, and the bark will eventually grow over it. Alright, now I've got that in. Make sure that's nice and flat underneath. I've got some capillary roots showing here, which I don't really want. So what I can do is I can bury them with some of during the warmer months, bonsai like to have a fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. So I use a sea salt as a liquid fertilizer, and I use Thrive All Purpose as a balanced, multi-purpose nutritional liquid fertilizer. That's going to keep my bonsai a bit more happy. The pebbles will retain moisture and theoretically a bit more heat, and during those nighttime temperatures when it drops, the temperature drops, those rocks theoretically will help keep the root mass warmer and keep my bacteria alive. So here I have my my shape here. So I might get him to stand up a little bit. I'm going to put a curve in here. So my first curve is going to be here. So I'm going to gently start to bend him around. And I might want to put some more wire up the top here. I'm going to go for a 4mm here. I'll start back as far as I can. Actually, don't really like that my plant has leant over like that. So I might get him to the direction like this. And this stuff on the inside now is too busy. I definitely know that that's the foliage that I want to take off. I'll drop the small ones down here somewhere. Yeah. So I know that because I'm turning this way, I'm going to take that out. Sometimes when it's too hard to bend, what we do is we get the trunk splitters out, and we give it a little bit of a trunk split like that, and that will make it easier for me to make my bend. If you're worried about that, you can wrap it, especially in the warmer months. Usually wrap it with budding and grafting tape. Let me get that bit out there. I'm going to take some of this off here. So a lot of it's got to do with just pruning, shaping, wrapping, pruning, wrapping, shaping. And I'm starting to like the shape that I'm getting now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, what's this, 3mm here, 4mm actually. I'll put another wrap on here. Again, it's getting real finicky, so I'm going to grab the wire, which makes it easier for me to do my job here. As I can see, that's underneath of the plant. A little bit of a bend out over that way. And I'm pretty happy with that at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just come back, and now I can nominate what I want as real branches. This one here I don't really want. So I might actually take this one off really low, that first one. These ones here, I might put some balance for the tree over here. I might put a bit more curve in the middle there. Now it's looking a bit busy in the middle here. So I'm going to nominate one of these. I'll probably take this one out. And this one pointing down underneath, I don't really like that. Take that out. So here I want to try and keep my plant bushy. I'm going to take these leaders off. Take this high one out because it's actually growing directly on top of the branch. Again, directly on top. Alright, we'll come back with part 3.